BMW i4 M50. "400 kilowatts of power and 795 newton meters of torque from front and rear mounted motors. 510 kilometers of WLTP range from an 84 kilowatt-hour battery. Is this the machine to challenge Porsche's Taycan 4S and the Tesla Model 3?
Hello and welcome to EV Platform. Today we're going to be talking about the BMW i4, not just the regular i4, but the M50 version, the one that everybody's after, and asking the question, is it worth the M badge?
So the BMW i4 is out, and we've got two different versions of it. But as we said already today, we're not really going to talk about the lower one. We're really going into the M50. What do we have? We've got a 400 kilowatt motor. Combined 400 kilowatt motors, total of about 540 horsepower, and just under 800 newton meters of torque. This is an incredibly powerful car. Obviously all-wheel drive with a motor mounted on the front axle and then another one on the back as well. I think the one on the back is slightly more powerful. It's also going to be pretty rapid off the line. We're looking at 3.9 seconds in the 0 to 100 or 0 to 62 miles an hour race. So this is a pretty rapid car. Now, I know the Tesla fanboys out there are going to say, well, my Model 3 Performance can do 3.2. Look, 3.9 is still very, very fast.
Yeah, so talking about power is great, but how far is it going to get you? With the regular i4, you're going to get nearly a WLTP now of nearly 600 kilometers, 590. But with the powerful version, because you've got that dual motor, because you have that all-wheel drive, you are going to be down to only WLTP of 510. Now, this is always with a pinch of salt. I would say it's probably going to be around the 470, 480 mark, which when you think about it, for an electric coupe, is all anybody needs. You have batteries that are around 80 kilowatt hours net. You have the ability of charging up to 200 kilowatts. We think the gobbledygook that comes out of BMW when they talk about charging times and charging speeds and all the rest of it, I don't know why they do that. And you have a 400 volt architecture. So plenty battery, plenty range. It's going to be interesting. And does this, with the size of the battery and all of that, Blake, how is this going to be a brute on the road?
Yeah, I mean, it's a substantial car. Like, now anybody who knows the 4 Series, this isn't going to look, any different. But like the ride height of the i4 is going to be 20 millimeters higher. You got a lot of batteries stuffed under because it's not an absolutely dedicated platform. 20 millimeters higher, but the center of gravity is actually going to be lower than, let's say, the combustion counterpart like a 3 Series. It's a big enough car, 4.8 meters long, so that's significant. The wheelbase is still pretty big as well, 2.86 meters, I think it is, and so the footprint of it on the road is quite substantial. You still got a decent sized boot though, even though with the coupe styling it's cut off, but it's in and around 470 liters. So I think it's a significant car. It's obviously going to be a lot heavier, with the extra batteries in it. Derek, do you want to jump inside and tell us a little bit about the inside of the car?
Yeah, it's not going to be too crazy. You're going to know you're in a BMW. There's going to be a lot of carbon, no doubt, because it's the M version. You're going to have a couple of nice big screens. You're going to have a 12-inch screen, just over 12-inch, 12.3. And you're going to have then nearly a 15-inch screen, curved screen. You're going to have over-the-air updates, really, really good. We're not going to talk about Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and what how long it takes for the side mirrors to fold in. If you want all that data, if you go to your local BMW website. But listen, it's going to be top spec. It's one of the top cars that BMW will be manufacturing. It's great that it's electric. Then also internally, not just tech-wise, you're going to have, it's not going to be too crazy. It's going to be a bit more modernized than the 4 Series. One thing that a lot of electric vehicle manufacturers are looking at is soundproofing, because you can hear everything outside, because you haven't got that internal combustion engine roaring underneath the bonnet. So keeping noises out from outside and making sure that the passengers and the drivers in this car aren't overwhelmed by road noise. But Blake, there's something else that they're going to be doing with noise for this i4 M50.
So you mentioned the acoustic glass, and once you're trapped inside this little beautiful cocoon of German engineering, Hans Zimmer, the famous movie composer, he did a lot of the Batman films and some other films with Christopher Nolan. I think he did Lion King back in the day as well. So he has created, which I let's be honest, dismissively call a fake noise. I've come across them in other EVs I've driven as well. I'm just not a fan. If I wanted a combustion car and the sound of it, I'd go and buy one. I don't. I want an electric motor, and that's what I want to get, that feedback. But he's come in anyway with these artificial noises just to remind you that you're in a performance car. We'll leave the debate to you guys in the comments, whether or not you think that's a good idea. But even on like the exterior of the car as well, because you were talking about the inside and what it looks like. And same idea again, it's traditional BMW fare. Like a lot of people who are going to look at the i4, certainly the casual observer, is just going to go, oh, there's an i4. The fact that it's electric or not might not even realize it. I mean, we could tell. You look at that. Let's call it the kidney grill. There's another debate for the comments whether you like that or not. It's closed off. There's a few little flashes of color. Like you with the interiors, I'm not going to go through the list of all the little touches that you get with the M50 version of it. Just jump online and have a look at a few photos.
Question, and we've asked this at the start: is it worth the M badge?
Yeah, is it worth it? Is it worthy of it? Does it deserve it? I think that's a really valuable debate, because we're going with this transition, from combustions to EVs. And we're going to lose a lot of things on the way. One being burning fossil fuels, which is fantastic. But there's a lot of stuff, legacy things like the M badge on a BMW. And I grew up loving M3s and, the M5. But I don't want a massive combustion engine anymore. So can an EV be worthy of an M badge? And I'm saying yes, absolutely. Why not? We want to carry over that sense of performance and drama. Just because it's an EV, it's still going to be a comfortable, luxurious car that's going to go really quick. Let's slap an M badge on it, because 3.9 seconds, like, why not? Derek, what do you think?
It has the performance, and I think when you look at historically, when you look at even the likes of Porsche's EV adventures, and when they stuck turbo on the back of it, people were scoffing, but they're talking to their customer base. And same as BMW, somebody that's an M3 buyer currently and is thinking about going into an electric vehicle will look at the i4 and then look at the i4 M50 and go, I understand what that means. That is going to be a faster machine on four wheels that's going to get me from A to B a lot more quicker than the regular i4. So having that M version, it doesn't necessarily mean that massive tuned engine. It means it's the performance version of that vehicle. So I'm really looking forward to this. Blake, if you had won the lottery and you had to pick an EV coupe, would this be the one, or would you be looking at the likes of a Tesla Performance? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I drove a Model 3 Performance there a couple of months back, and wow, it's, we talk about performance of the i4 M50, and the Tesla just beats that. But then again, that sense of luxury and that feeling when you sit into a BMW is a different class. So look, I'm 50-50 on that one. It's going to depend on what stage of life I'm at. But me, Derek, and if you're going to put 70, 80, 90 grand in my account, that I'm going out, I'm going to buy a banged up classic Porsche 911, and I'm going to get that completely retrofitted with an EV motor in it that'll probably go as fast as the i4. But look, that's me. Look, if I'm talking nonsense, get on the comments down below and let me know. Like we answer everything, by the way. So leave a comments down below.
Definitely do, and
get the debate going.
This one should raise some debate. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Last point, Blake, we talk about this a lot with these traditional OEMs looking to get into the EV space. And we had the situation where when Porsche brought out the Taycan, they were being called, is this the Tesla killer? And what it turned out to be was the 911 killer. Really, it ate into its own market share. And it has that. And the Panamera, exactly. So it has that effect where they're potentially gathering new customers, but just transitioning their current customers over to an electrified version of their vehicles. Where do you think that the market share is going to go for this BMW i4 M50?
I think it's coming from the combustion counterparts. I'm not convinced on that. I can't wait to see how it actually goes. But I'll just give you an example of someone in my family who was just running German manufactured, either Audis or BMWs, for the last 20 years. And only there a couple of years ago, they bought themselves a standard range plus Model 3 because they wanted to go EV. If the i4 was available at the time, would they have gone for a Tesla? I don't think so. And even now, if he could swap that Tesla out for an i4, he would go back. Because he's just looking at the M3, the screen, just go, no, just get away from me. Give me my BMW, and it's electric. Fantastic. That's what I want.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of people that made that jump, potentially looking to be an early adopter and just The Tesla market share, I think, is the one that's going to start feeling the pinch in this. They have had it all their own way. So leave a note in the comment and let us know what you think, whether this is going to be a Tesla Model 3 performance killer. We don't like saying this on that channel, but that's what everybody else is going to be saying. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode of EV Platform. As I mentioned, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Give us a like, leave a comment. My name has been Derek Riley, and you've been watching EV Platform.
Thanks for watching. I have to wind you up every time.
Love it.